I've made it so clear on what I want to do that if I don't achieve it, the only thing it can come down to now is sheer laziness. So guys, welcome back to my channel. Montel Gordon here. For those who don't know me, I'm 22 now. Fucking dropped out of university, started chasing entrepreneurship. The topic of today's video is how I'm actually going to scale my agency to from 0 to 6 figures in my first year. I know that sounds absolutely fucking absurd coming out of my mouth because I've never made more than like 1 to 2k in a single month. Not even more than 1k in a single month, and like, who am I to say that I'm going to make 0 to 100k in my first 12 months? I truly believe that. I've done the numbers. I've, you know, from coming from my own experience with e-commerce and the results I can bring businesses, I actually do believe I am worth £1,000 a month to a business, because I know that I can bring a business at least 20-30,000 visitors to their store a month, and that is a lot of traffic, and I know I can generate that from just Instagram alone without even using Facebook ads or Google AdWords or anything like that. So I do believe I'm worth that to a business, not because I just think that, because I've actually done it and proven to myself that I can bring myself that sort of traffic in that amount of time. Anyway, how am I structuring this? How am I gonna get there? How am I going to, you know, go from 0 to 6 figures in 12 fucking months? Right, the quickest way to get to 6 figures is to break it down into monthly segments. So that's £8,333 a month profit, reoccurring. And how would I do that? Well, the quickest way to do that is to get 4 to 8 businesses, each paying you 1 to 2k a month, and my aim is to get 8 clients signed in this next 12 months, each paying me £1,050. So that roughly equates to just over 6 figures a year. Now, how the hell am I gonna close these 8 clients? Well, I've broke down the numbers. I did like a couple of cold calls, and I was trying to get into the flow and see how many like cold calls I'd actually need to land these meetings, and I've noticed that around every 50 calls I can land around 1 meeting, which sounds absolutely shit numbers, but you will have shit numbers at the start, believe me. And I mean, these 50 calls, some of them you won't get through, some of them you will get through to the gatekeeper, and the gatekeeper will tell you to leave an email, and at that point the calls kind of died out, even if you do say is there a better time to call back. But yeah, there's a lot of factors what go into that. There's a lot of objections you have to overcome. So yeah, out of 1 in every 50 call, I reckon I can land 1 meeting. In fact, I know I can land 1 meeting because I've done the maths. So how am I actually structuring this? Well, me and a business partner, he's actually a good friend of mine, we was actually friends before this. How we're structuring our days is we'll wake up, and from 8 AM to 12 PM, we are prospecting 30 businesses each, so that's 60 each, so that's 60 in total, sorry. And then throughout the day, so like from 1 PM to 5 PM, we are cold calling these 30 businesses. Now, you're probably thinking, why the fuck are you only prospecting 30 businesses each? Because basically we go into more detail than the rest of the people. Of course, you can just go to Google and just type in restaurants near me and just list everybody and call everybody. But we actually do a bit more research than that. We actually do a lot of prospecting, like work. We do a lot of research. We make sure that the business is perfect for us to call before we call them. We actually go into the back end and look at their social media accounts and all that good stuff. We predict from numbers we are getting right now that from every 50 calls we make, we land 1 meeting, and out of every 12 meetings, we close 1 client, which is very, 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 very realistic. Very realistic. Now, from looking at our numbers, if we're cold calling 30 businesses each a day for 5 days, that is obviously 150 businesses a week. Times that by 2 because it's me and him, that's 300 businesses a week. So that means at the end of each week, if we're calling 300 businesses, we should land 6 meetings. Now, we predict that out of every 10 to 12 meetings, so around, we'll say worst case scenario, every 12 meetings we potentially land and actually close the client in these meetings. So every 12 meetings we close one client and bring on that client on a monthly retainer of £1,000. So at this point it's basically like a funnel. So we know that every 600 businesses we call, we land 12 meetings, and out of those 12 meetings we produce one new client. So it's basically a funnel. So that's how we kind of structuring it, and if we stick to that, that means we got one client every 2 weeks, so every month that is 2 new clients. Now we need 8, so if we're getting 2 new clients a month, that means we only need to work for 4 months straight, back to back, straight hustling, straight cold calling to get 8 clients. Of course there are going to be setbacks, of course there are going to be things to, you know, there's going to be things that like fuck up that. It just depends. It could be a bad day for the person on the phone. We miss out something. You know, anything can happen. So I've actually added in. So like I said, that would actually take us around. If we stuck to the numbers and the numbers were correct, that would take us 4 months. But I've actually added in an extra 8 months of just sheer unluckiness, basically. 8 months of padding. Literally padding, you know, it's 8 month leeway, basically just padding. I definitely believe we can hit the 6-figure mark if we stick to our 30 cold calls a day. We could even bump that up, but the way the Wi-Fi works around here, and it's just so friggin' slow to load pages, to check if these pages have got like Facebook pixels installed, to look at their Facebook and, you know, load all these pages just takes a long time. And cold calling is a actual skill I need to master. I'm super shit at talking to new people. I'm such a shy guy for some reason, even though I'm on YouTube, which is kind of weird. And then the next skill I will have to overcome is actually my biggest fear. My biggest fear is presenting in front of people. Like, you get the 3 parts to this business model, like I said in my last video. The first part is you have to master cold calling. The second part is after you get a cold call and land a meeting, you have to go to the meeting and then try close the client. So you have to learn sales and how to present. Then the third part of the business is actually delivering results with a Facebook ads. So you have to learn Facebook ads. I already know Facebook ads. Now I just need to learn to cold call. I'm definitely getting better at that. I've done my practice sessions where I just boiler roomed it, like just got a load of numbers and just boiler room back to back. Definitely getting better at that. Now it's just time to develop my cold calling script better, master that. Then once I've mastered that, I will eventually master the meetings and closing clients. Not only that, but I'm going to reinvest the money of my first client back into myself. I'm actually going to buy a YouTuber's course called 6-Figure SMMA. It's literally a blueprint to go from 0 to 6 figures in 12 months. That's what the course is designed to do. I mean, don't try and, me and my brother say this all the time, don't try and guess success, just buy success. There are people out there with courses that have spent years of their lives trying stuff, failing, and then putting what works and then together and condensing it down into video courses for you to buy as a step-by-step blueprint. So I think the wise decision for me to do is reinvest money, any money I make from the start of the business, back into myself, into my self-education by buying Iman Gaji's course. Big shout out to Iman Gaji, like I did in my last YouTube video. You can't say you're going to make 6 figures if you're not willing to sacrifice and if you're not worth 6 figures. To me, I don't think I'm worth 6 figures yet, but I'm close or thereabout, because Facebook ads is definitely a 6-figure skill. You learn Facebook ads to the depth I've learned Facebook ads in, then you can start saying maybe, you know, I'm worth this much. I'm not even trying to be like egotistic, but I've literally sat in my bedroom for hours on end. If you follow me on social media, I'll put the link in the description if you don't, but I literally, that's all I do, just study Facebook ads, different ad types, sales copies, copywriting. That's all I do. Copywriting itself is a 6-figure skill set. Facebook ads plus copywriting is a multiple 6-figure skill set, maybe even 7. So I'm not just trying to throw fucking random numbers out there hoping that they're just gonna come to me and just manifest to me. When you lay out your goals down to the point where you know how many calls you need to make per hour, then you can come on YouTube and say you're gonna make 6 figures. This summer I will be spending in my room alone. It will be fucking lonely, it will be hard. I will be dying to go out. FOMOs, aka fear of missing out, will hit me very, very hard, especially if I'm looking on Snapchat. Well, yes, I'm definitely gonna get FOMOs, but I can counteract that. I believe in myself and I know I can do this if I stick to what I'm doing. Yeah guys, that's literally how I'm planning to do a 0 to 6 figures in 12 months move. Like, it's gonna be fucking crazy. I've made it so fucking clear on what I want to do that if I don't achieve it, the only thing it can come down to now is sheer laziness.